Hello, and welcome to the function notation and operations video. In this video, we're going to be practicing just that. You can see in part 1, we're looking at function notation, and then for operations of functions, we're looking at tables, equations, as well as graphs. So let's get started. If we take a look at problems 2, 4, and 6 over here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Please make sure you have the blank notes or something to write on. It says here, if f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 8, find f of negative 2. So just a reminder, whatever we have here inside the parentheses, like here, is our x value. So let's write that in so that we don't forget. This is our x value. So that means we're going to take negative 2 and plug it in wherever we see an x. So we'll have f of negative 2 is equal to 3 times negative 2 squared minus 8. So again, that's wherever you see an x, that's where you're going to put that negative 2. And now we just solve. So let's see, in our order of operations, first thing we want to do is exponents. We're going to square the negative 2. Just a reminder, negative times a negative is a positive. So if you're doing this in your calculator, please make sure to put the negative 2 in parentheses. This is going to be 3 times 4 minus 8. Next in order of operations is our multiplication. So we'll do 3 times 4, or 12 minus 8. And 12 minus 8 is going to give us 4. So that means that f of negative 2 is equal to 4. And this is our final answer in function notation. Please make sure you write your final answers like this because that's kind of the focus of today. And again, just a reminder, it's like saying if this is my x value or my input, then this is my y value or my output. So let's try it again. Let's take a look at number 4. So for number 4, if g of x is equal to 3 over x minus 5, find g of negative 8. So again, this is our x value. Now we may take a look at this problem and be a little intimidated because it's a fraction, but you know what? I think you can handle it. I think you can do it. So we'll say that g of negative 8 is equal to 3 over negative 8 minus 5. So again, wherever we see an x, that's where we're plugging in our negative 8 in this case. So when we solve, we have to take a look at the denominator first. We're going to get 3 over negative 8 minus 5, which is going to give us a negative 13. And you know what? That can't be simplified anymore. 3 and 13 don't have any factors in common, so we can be done and write our final answer in saying that g of negative 8 is equal to negative 3 over 13. In this case, our input, or x, is negative 8, and our output, or our y, is negative 3 over 13. That's all you got to do. Lastly, let's try number 6, which does look a little bit different. So it says, given that f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 10, find x if f of x is equal to 108. Now, remember, whenever we have f of negative 2 or g of negative 8, these x values here, they're equal to our y values. So in this case, our 108, that's our y value, and we're looking for our x. So we're going to have to set up 2 equations equal to each other and solve from there. So instead of saying g of negative 8 or f of negative 2, we're just going to say 108 is equal to 2x squared plus 10. So remember, we're solving for x. We don't know what x is. So we are plugging in 108 for our y value. But from here, we will solve. So we'll start by subtracting 10 on both sides. And we get that 98 is equal to 2x squared. We'll divide both sides by 2 so we can start getting that x by itself. And we'll get 49 is equal to x squared. And then lastly, to get x by itself, we're going to have to take the square root. Now here, I want you to be really, really careful. If you plug this into your calculator, you're going to get the answer of 7, which isn't wrong, but it's not the only answer. Remember, when you're taking the square root of something, you could have the positive and the negative version of an answer. So we can say that x is equal to positive 7 and negative 7. So you can also write it out as x is equal to negative 7, comma 7 if you want, or you can keep that plus or minus notation. So this is just dealing a little bit with function notation. The main purpose of this is to practice our solving maybe a little bit, but also to remind ourselves that whatever is inside this parentheses is our x value, and whatever it's equal to outside the parentheses is our y value. So that's dealing with our function notation. Let's take a look at our operations of functions, first dealing with the tables. I'm going to leave problems 1, 3, and 5 in the function notation section for us to do during class. So let's move on to, let's move on to operations of functions. So when we're talking about operations of functions, we're talking about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing two functions, whatever that may be. So we're going to do problem 1 together with this table here, and then we'll do problem 2 together in class. So taking a look at problem 1, it says use the table to evaluate each expression. So if we take a look here at A, we have f plus g of 2. That's how you'd properly say it. It's not times 2, it's of 2. Because another way that this can be written is f of 2 plus g of 2. So if we write this as f of 2 plus g of 2, it means that we want to know, okay, when our x value is 2, what's our y value for f, what's our y value for g, and then we're going to add those together. So when I look at this table, this 3-column table, right here I see my x, and here I see my f of x and my g of x. Well, those f of x and those g of x, these are the y values for that particular function. So when we're looking for, and I might even do these in separate colors. So we'll do these as blue. I think that yellow will show up, okay. So we'll do these in blue as yellow. So for f of 2, we look to see, okay, when my x value is 2, what's my y value for my f function? Oh, that's going to be 7. And we're going to add that to the y value of g. So when x is 2, the y value of g is negative 2. So we're going to add in a negative 2. So when we do 7 plus a negative 2, that's going to become 5. So we were able to take our two y values and add those together and have a final statement of f plus g of 2 is equal to 5. And there you go. So we're going to keep doing this for each of the problems. If it helps you to rewrite it out as f of 2 plus g of 2, you can do that, or you can keep it as is. So if we take a look at B, we can write this as f of 4 minus g of 4. So f minus g of 4 is saying that we're going to subtract the g function from our f function when the x value is 4. So again, let's look for those values. So let's see. When our x value is 4, the y value for our f function is 10. Minus, when the x value is 4, the y function, or the y value for g is 5. We're going to do 10 minus 5, which is 5, just like our, oops, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, just like our other answer. So we can say that f minus g of 4 is equal to 5. Let's try this twice more with our two other operations. So C, it doesn't look like there's any operation there, but whenever we have two values next to each other, we assume that they're multiplying. So f times g of negative 2, this means f of negative 2 times g of negative 2. So when x is negative 2, y value for f is 0, times when x is negative 2, the y value for g is 6. And 0 times 6 is just going to get us 0. So we can say that f times g of negative 2 is equal to 0. Voila. And then lastly, we have f divided by g of 0. So this is f of 0 divided by g of 0. So when 0 is our x value and we do f divided by g, what do we get? So let's see. When x is 0, y value for f is 5. And when x is 0, the y value for g is 0. So we have 5 divided by 0. If I tried plugging this into my calculator, there's going to be a domain error. Something bad is going to happen. And that's because you're not supposed to divide by 0. It's a very bad thing. So we're going to say this is undefined. But for your overall answer, I would put no solution. Why would I do this? Because the solution doesn't exist. You're not supposed to divide by 0. So it is possible to have a no solution problem. It doesn't mean you're doing the problem wrong. It just means there's no possible answer for that situation. So this is how to deal with operations and functions with a table. But what if we continued on and dealt with operations and functions with functions or equations? So let's take a look at that. If we scroll down and move all the way to problem number 3. So number 3 asks to use f of x and g of x to evaluate each expression symbolically, or really with its own functions. So we have our f of x function of 2x minus 3, and we have our g of x function of 1 minus x squared. So I'm going to be doing the same thing where I kind of keep them color-coded so we can keep them separate. Now there is a few different ways to do these problems. One of the methods is to combine the functions first. So for instance here, f plus g of 3. This is the same as f of 3 plus g of 3. So some people like to go through and add f of x plus g of x first and then plug in 3. But I personally like to plug in 3 first and then add the two numbers together, because then it just feels a little bit more like what we did with the table, and that wasn't too bad. So I'm going to start by finding f of 3. So f of 3, remember that means I'm plugging 3 into the equation wherever I see an x. We'll have 2 times 3 minus 3. Order of operations, multiplication comes first, so that's going to be 6 minus 3, or 3. So this is the first part we have. We have our f of 3. Now we need to find our g of 3. And that's going to be 1 minus 3 squared. Now in this case, the minus is on the outside because we're subtracting whatever we get for our x squared. So this is going to be 1 minus 9, or a negative 8. So when I look at our overall problem, we want f of 3 plus g of 3. So I'm going to say that f of 3 plus g of 3, well, f of 3 is just 3, and we'll add our g of 3, which is a negative 8. So when I plug all of this into my calculator or do it in my head, we get that our overall answer is a negative 5. So we can say that f plus g of 3 is equal to negative 5. And that's our final answer. Let's try this a few more times. So for b, f minus g of negative 1, this is f of negative 1 minus g of negative 1. So I'm going to plug in negative 1 to my f value and find that. So it's going to be 2 times negative 1 minus 3. 2 times negative 1 gives me a negative 2. Minus 3 is going to give me a negative 5. I can stop there. And then g of negative 1, we get 1 minus parenthesis negative 1 squared. So remember, the negative is also now with the x value. Negative times negative is always going to be a positive. So it's going to be 1 minus 1, since negative 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. We have our f of negative 1 and g of negative 1. So we'll have f of negative 1 minus g of negative 1 is equal to negative 5 minus 0. Ooh, this is getting a little wiggly. 0, which overall, again, is negative 5. So we can say that f minus g of negative 1 is negative 5. Hopefully not too bad. Let's try this just a few more times and then we'll do one graphing problem. So for part C, remember this is f of 0 times g of 0. So if we do f of 0, we 2 times 0 plus 3, or 0 plus 3, also known as just the number 3. Move this up just a little bit. And then for g of 0, we 1 minus 0 squared. 0 squared is just 0, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So when we do f of 0 times g of 0, that's going to be 3 times 1, also known as 3. So we'll have f times g of 0 is equal to 3. So just keep plugging them in. So for this next one, oops, I just filled something out, not sure what I hit. All right, this is going to be f of 2 divided by g of 2. So f divided by g of 2 is the same thing as this. So if I went and found f of 2, this would be 2 times 2 minus 3 is equal to 4 minus 3, or 1. And g of 2 is going to be 1 minus 2 squared. 1 minus 2 squared is 4, or 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So we can say that f of 2 divided by g of 2 is equal to 1 divided by negative 3, also known as just a negative 1/3 that doesn't need to be simplified anymore. So we can say that f divided by g of 2 is equal to a negative 1/3. And there you go. So please make sure that you're showing me all your work. I know this video is longer than our past videos, but keep in mind when you're working on your own, it will hopefully go a little bit faster. And we only have one more quick problem to go over. We're going to skip 4 and 5 because we're going to go over that together in our Go Formative. Let's get to the graph. I just want to do part A. So here it says use the graph to evaluate each expression. We have our f function in blue and our g function in red. So when we have f plus g of 2, that's the same as f of 2 plus g of 2. And in this case, f of 2, the x value is 2, our y value is, it looks like at 3, all the way at the top here. It's going to be 3 plus, when the x value is 2, our g value is down here. It looks like at negative 1. I'm going to use red for this instead of yellow. There we go, at negative 1. When we add 3 plus negative 1, that's going to get us the value of 2. So that we can say that f plus g of 2 is equal to 2. And there you have it. We've learned about function notation and operations of functions dealing with tables, equations, as well as graphs. Rewatch the video, speed it up, slow it down if you need to. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.